It's a venue synonymous with playoff basketball, and we've got a win or go home situation. The Southeast Melbourne Phoenix taking on the Adelaide 36ers, who have been their own worst enemy throughout the year. The Phoenix, a slow start, a new coach, and a new revitalised team. Southeast Melbourne, the Adelaide 36ers, win or go home starts now.
The rise of the Phoenix has been one of the stories of NBL 25.
I think you've seen and everybody has seen when we play our best basketball, we can beat anybody, and we have. I've got confidence in my group. They're battle-tested.
Phoenix have made all the right decisions at the right times.
They're rolling right now.
We know what we're up against.
Oh, they're a fractious bunch in Adelaide, but I tell you what, they're talented.
When we have our top 8, we feel like we're as good as anybody. Now it's playoff basketball. Playoff basketball is different. It's the best of the best.
It's do or die.
It's elimination type games. You're going to take some punches. I think it's the perfect game at the perfect time for our group. It's not going to be easy, but it's not supposed to be easy. We've kind of embraced the hardness of the season, and hopefully we're ready for another test.
John Cain Arena is rocking. I'm joined by Damon Lowry and Andrew Gaze. Fellas, the two coaches of these teams have had very, very different experiences in their first years in the NBL.
Tell you what, a couple of months ago, neither of these guys was even in the country, and now they are on the brink of the Final Four. Only one of them can get in. We're going to find out who it is.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting battle. We look at the Adelaide 36ers coming off an inspiring win over the Sydney Kings, and no team relies on their 3 stars more than the Adelaide 36ers, and they're going to have to step up big in this one here this afternoon. And the Phoenix, well, they just weren't able to put it all together against a very strong Perth Wildcats outfit. One area that they must take care of, or well, they will be advancing no further, and that is on the boards. They got obliterated on the board.
Spifflicated, some would say.
Spifflicated, eviscerated, whatever adjective you want to use. They got pounded and lost that by 24. So if they don't pick up in that area, it's going to be a long night.
Now, the Adelaide 36ers, we said at the start, their own worst enemy throughout the year. But that man right there, Montrezl Harrell, he was putting the finger guns to the Sydney crowd. He was waving goodbye. If he brings the energy tonight, they are very, very tough to stop.
And we can just about guarantee that Montrezl will definitely bring some energy. He gave the Sydney Kings all of the business last game. 18 points, 8 rebounds, 7 dimes, 3 blocks, 0 turnovers, and a whole bunch of waving goodbye to the Sydney fans. I'm expecting another big game out of Trez.
Yeah, absolutely. He's an emotional spark as well. And the last game they played here, they were 21 points down at halftime, and Montrezl Harrell was a big part of their revival. He's a tough cover down on that box, and Matt Hurt is really going to have to step up if the Phoenix are going to have their chance. He's a star, Matt Hurt. He can hurt you in so many different ways. He was awarded in the first team All-Star 5, but have a look at the numbers, specifically against the Adelaide 36ers. He loves it. 24 points, 57%. But he is a culprit of the poor rebounding against the Perth Wildcats. Damon, I can't even say it. I was that surprised. He only had 2 rebounds that entire contest.
Well, Southeast Melbourne coming off a tough loss to Perth, one of their worst defensive performances of the season in that playing game.
Yeah, they gave up 222 points to the Perth Wildcats. And if you look at their history, if you take out 2020, 2021, the franchise has not been great. 3 did not qualify, wow. And they're hoping right now. But you know what, though? That don't mean a damn thing, because Josh is in town. He's trying to make his own history with this team.
Josh King has turned this team around. 5 games in, they made a change, and it was a masterstroke from Tommy Greer and the team at Southeast Melbourne. Let's head courtside to our commentator, Kelsey Brown. What are you seeing down there?
Thanks, Bill. It's great to be here courtside for this game. We've spoken so much about the resurgence of the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix under Josh King. 12 wins and 4 losses between rounds 7 and 17. We know what he's like, though. He's understated when he talks about things. He's humble in the wins. And I don't think their GM of basketball, Simon Mitchell, has been on the same page. In January, he came out and said, we are the best team in the NBL. A really bold call. And since then, they've gone 2 wins and 4 losses. Gazy, I want to know, a bold call. Has he put the Moz on his team?
Well, in fairness to Simon Mitchell, at that time of the season, they probably were the best team in the comp. They were playing some fantastic basketball, but I don't think we can read too much into that 2-4 since that comment. I think Josh King would have been focusing on a whole bunch of other priorities.
My mama used to say, don't let your elephant mouth get your canary ass in trouble. Now, talk is cheap. We'll see what happens.
I'll tell you what, your mum had a whole lot of quotes, and it doesn't stop there, but it's time to throw it over to the voice of the NBL, Jack Everett.
Thank you very much, Felix. And life has been a roller coaster for both of these teams this season. 1 minute they're up, 1 minute they're down. But who doesn't like a roller coaster? Starting fives for both outfits. Southeast Melbourne looking to bounce back after Tuesday night's loss in Perth. And for the Adelaide 36ers, the same starting five for the last 12 games. They've found a situation that works, and they have got themselves to today's play-in sudden death here at John Cain Arena. The winner advances to a semi-final series against Illawarra, and for the loser, it is NBL 25 done. And it's the 36ers who will start off in possession. Our three officials, Vaughan Mabry, Chris Reed and Nico Fernandez. Sunday afternoon in Melbourne. Adelaide, with their first look, goes straight down to Montrezl Harrell. He can't make it count, and they can reset. Kendrick Davis, runner-up in the MVP this season, is going to have Owen Foxwell for company this afternoon. 4 on the clock. Nice start for Adelaide.
He was persistent because young Owen Foxwell is not going to take a backward step, but Kendrick is a scorer. And he made sure he stayed engaged and got that easy bucket to start this thing off.
Member of the All-NBL first team as well, as is this man, Matt Hurt. They make him a priority early on. Oh dear, everyone left that behind from Adelaide. They all looked at each other. Eventually cleaned up by Kendrick Davis. Down low to Isaac Humphries. Now back through Davis once more. Puts the step on Wieskamp. Did everything but finish. Now Sobey flies up the floor for Southeast Melbourne. Pull-up jumper with a hand in the face. That was last touch by the Phoenix. Maybe a couple of early nerves for both teams.
Well, I think it's a filling out process to get started. Kendrick Davis will be happy to see one go in at the early stages, because Foxwell's going to hound him. And it can wear you down when you've got someone wearing you as much as Foxwell is going to throughout the course of the game.
Still a long way from the basket. With the shot clock in single figures, Davis pulls up in the mid-range.
Well, Shorty Hunter needs to be a lot higher.
Ominous signs.
Like he's dropping right back, and that's his sweet spot. He's very good at that mid-range, and that's a couple he's made from that same area.
Wieskamp had a tough night in Perth. Big rebound by Matt Hurt. Opening bucket of the afternoon for Southeast Melbourne.
And Phoenix fans and Josh King will be happy to see Matt Hurt getting on the glass. Great penetration by Joe Wieskamp, but Matt Hurt cleaned it up.
24 in that game, but as you highlighted, Damon, they were slaughtered in the rebounding count. Southeast Melbourne against Perth. Nice pass inside Humphries. And Geordie Hunter picks up an early foul, which is going to be one of the big stories for Southeast Melbourne this afternoon. Is can Geordie Hunter stay out there with these Adelaide big bodies?
Well, not just Geordie Hunter. There was 77 free throws taken in that game against the Perth Wildcats. And yes, when I think both teams could look at it, both the Wildcats and the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, and look at a few questionable calls, but there were a lot of calls that were absolutely correct. And it's how you make the adjustment. Playoff basketball, the intensity always picks up, and usually the officials will cater for that and allow a little bit more contact. Now that last one on Humphries, of course, was one of the more clear-cut fouls you'll ever want to see. But it's you still have to be conscious of how the officials are going to call it.
You two both understand this situation. You played in enormous games across your wonderful careers. What's the first 2 or 3 minutes? There's a foul in Adelaide here, Damon. What's the first 2 or 3 minutes of a cutthroat final like this like out on the floor?
If you're on the road, you're a road team, you're Adelaide 36ers, you want to get off to a good start defensively. A lot of people always tend to think, let's start making shots, but they want to make sure the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix get everything extremely difficult.
And a little bit more pressure on the home team as well, because the expectations are higher, and there's a couple of three-point misses to start the game for Nathan Sobey.
1 of 5, Southeast Melbourne. Here's Lat Mayen wide open in the corner. He barely drew iron on that. Better shooter than that across the season. Foxwell for Hunter.
Transition defense, both teams. Everything is highly critical at this stage, Drew. You don't want to be giving up easy dunks.
It took 3 goes before they eventually called it, but the third hit, and this is what you're talking about, the defensive trans. Now, this was a little harder because it came off a long three, and it ignited the break for Phoenix, but they got off to a really poor start against the Wildcats.
Davis has got away from Foxwell again. He's got 6 early points, Kendrick Davis.
Kendrick Davis is such a problem. That dude comes off any kind of ball screen or dribble handoff. The pressure he puts on the defense is enormous as Owen Foxwell gets himself to the stripe.
Well, that's right, and Kendrick Davis is the type that you can't handle him one-on-one. Foxwell's going to try and annoy him and be that pesky player in the backcourt to try and wear him down, but he's too good. When the penetration's there, you're going to have to rely on some form of help. The game is heavily weighted in favour of the offense, and if you just allow it to be a one-on-one contest and you've got an elite player like Kendrick Davis, it's going to be a long afternoon.
Kelsey Brown courtside.
Spoke to Nathan Sobey pre-game. Gazy, you spoke about the start that they got in Perth. He said that was the first thing they addressed when they got home was that start. They gave up an 18-3 deficit to Perth in that first quarter. They'd want to be careful here. It's not too bad, but he said the starters need to be better. Him personally needed to be better. So I'm excited to see the start of this quarter.
Yeah, these starters, they got to get off to a good start. And Adelaide 36, Mike Wills has said it, they got 8 deep, and they're going to run these guys into the ground.
Harrell crosses over on Hurt. Strong move. Hurt did well not to foul. Kept alive by Wieskamp. On Foxwell pushes the tempo. Hurt runs the floor. The stop at one end, the score at the other.
That's a great pass by Foxwell. I thought he was going to try to skip that over to Sobey. Good job by Matt Hurt running the floor.
4 points early on for Matt Hurt. Kendrick Davis with ball in hand. He's the game's leading scorer with 6 so far on 3 of 4 shooting. They roll down to Humphries. Good look goes begging for the big man.
Really good look. He's had a couple now that, down low, he just hasn't been able to finish them off. You talk about the Adelaide 36, and I said in the pre-game show that they rely on their big three more than most, and it's statistically backed up. Only 18% of the scores that Adelaide 36 have had this season have come from their bench, which is the lowest in the competition.
Harrell put Foxwell out of there, but second chance for Matt Hurt. Montrezl Harrell has got a little issue here. It was an awkward landing. There were bodies falling down everywhere in the keyway. And the 36ers star looks in a bit of pain.
We have to see this again on the replay. Everything was happening so fast. We saw Montrezl get a block shot.
Damon, I haven't got a lot of people running Montrezl to see how the big fella is.
You have to tell me what happened. I can't look at injuries in slow motion.
Well, he's just landed. I think he's just landed, and is that a twist of the ankle? I think that's what you'd be hoping for. He's limping off.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, it didn't look too severe. Sometimes it's just that jarring that you get either in the ankle or the knee.
Well, fingers crossed it's nothing knee-related. He's had a lot of knee issues throughout his NBA career.
Yeah, he's walking off into the tunnel, so we'll see. Because sometimes when a guy, like, try to take a charge and then you're in the landing space, it's just dangerous. So now we get Jarrell Martin get some early first quarter minutes.
9 points and 3 rebounds on Thursday. Jarrell Martin played a lot of time in the second half. Mike Wells changed the rotation, Damon, against Sydney, went away from Isaac Humphries and went to Jarrell Martin to spread the floor.
Yeah, Isaac was having a kind of a decent game, but he missed a few bunnies. But the way the game unfolded, I think he just wanted to have Jarrell on the floor to help spread the floor more, give him more of an offensive punch. Oh, you can't lead that man.
All alone for 3. Hurt can't make them pay. Kendrick Davis is everywhere so far. Jarrell Martin runs the floor and gets rewarded.
In a playoff game, Drew, in a do-or-die game?
That was just a miscommunication, I think. And yeah, your level of desperation needs to be a bit better than that.
Nice pass back door. Kenyon denied, though, by Humphries. Davis for Sunday's edge. That's a trap.
Yeah, they change it up. And they put a bigger guy on Davis, and didn't seem to have much impact. He still got into the paint and missed one on the prior attempt. Angus Glover, what a first half he had against the Perth Wildcats. Had a career high, or equally career high in points. He was on fire.
25 on Tuesday, 6 of 9 from long range. Bogdanovic draws contact from Isaac Humphries.
Wow, I didn't have that one on my bingo card. We're gonna go with Bogdanovic on Isaac Humphries, and Isaac picks up his second foul.
Well, Bogdanovic is going to make him stretch the floor, take him away from the basket, and straight away, Mike Wells makes the adjustment. Lat Mayen comes back in for Isaac Humphries. That's the beauty of Jarrell Martin as well, because he seems almost more comfortable picking and popping and working around the three-point line that he does on the box.
Adelaide coach Mike Wells forced to turn to something that wasn't part of the plan. No Isaac Humphries on the floor with 2 fouls. Montrezl Harrell off the floor at the moment with an injury. This is not a lineup he would have thought that he would have seen with 4:29 to play in the first.
Not at all, and sometimes your plan A doesn't always go to plan. You can't help it, things happen with Trez, but everybody else on the floor, they know their roles, have to just step up.
Jason Kadee running the point, pass is deflected down to Martin. He steps out for 3. That's no good. Kelsey Brown, you've got eyes on Montrezl Harrell.
I do. They have shut the doors to the back. He was visibly frustrated. It is a left ankle, though. Better news than a knee. He's getting it re-strapped, and hopefully he's back out soon.
Great work by you, Kels. As Ben Air gets sent to check into the game, Kadee left it behind. Lat Mayen with space.
There was a layup there if somebody wanted it, Drew.
I have to say the exact same thing. They're settling for the 3 ball. They take the least. Well, they're not a high three-point shooting team relative to the competition, the Adelaide 36ers.
Loose ball falls the way of Sunday Dech. Adelaide trail by 2. 6 points early on for Kendrick Davis. This time he shares with Dech. Wide open for 3. Adelaide get it back. Davis. Can't fire either. 0 of 5 from outside of Adelaide. 0 of 3, Southeast Melbourne. Glover shows them all how it's done.
Fits like a glove. He thinks he's back in Perth. He was knocking him down in the West. And Glove gets his first one to go.
37% shooter for the season from outside, Angus Glover. Nice start to his afternoon. Adelaide continue to pepper away.
Over 6 now.
Glover in rhythm, not that time.
Whose pace is this suit right now, Drewy?
Well, the way the game's going, I think that the Phoenix look a little bit more comfortable now. Jason Kadee casually gets in, and that's where they've looked their best. Now, Davis has missed a few. That was a good one by Kadee, but they've been able to continue to work their way into the paint. On-ball defensive. Phoenix might need a little look, and there's a moving screen foul. Bogdanovic picks it up.
No basket. 15. Clock.
Ben Ayson, some early minutes as well. He did start to play a little bit more the last third of the season. He didn't have a lot, less than a minute, I think, against the Wildcats, but he sees some first quarter action.
A timeout call by Mike Wells. Adelaide coach with 2 minutes and 12 seconds left, with thanks to Tangerine, and Nathan Sobey has been such a massive part of this season for South East Melbourne. Top 10 in the competition for assists and steals, and he caught up with Kelsey pre-game.
I want to ask about Josh King. We know he's an intense guy during the season. How does he sort of approach these sudden death games? Does the intensity rise a little bit more? And same for you. Are you sort of in finals? Does the intensity, does the enthusiasm rise a little bit more? Or is it approach it the same?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's an approach the same, but also understand the moment and what it is, and understanding that you can't get away with as many mistakes as you can during the regular season. And we've preached on that. We learned from that in Perth, and we've got to be better tonight. They're coming off a win. They'll be up and about. They want to come here and beat us too, so we've got to be ready to go and bring our best.
0 of 4 to start the game. Nathan Sobey after 22 points on Tuesday to go with his 8 assists. And He is a man who has some history with the Adelaide 36ers, Damon. You go back and Nathan Sobey was a big part of their run in 2018 and 19. And of course, in 2017-18, they lost to Melbourne United in that championship series. That was a hell of an Adelaide team they had.
Yeah, it was. I mean, he cut his teeth there in Adelaide, really. He obviously went to Brisbane and finished off his career up until this point. But Sobey's got he's torn a little bit. You want to be aggressive, but you also want to let the game come to you. He's trying to pick his spots. Right now, already getting off to an 0 for 4 kind of a start. But I like the fact he's on the glass. He got the 5 rebounds, so he's still engaged.
2017-18 run to the grand final series was the last time that Adelaide have made the Final Four here in the NBL. Kendrick Davis on the move.
Another good move. Had Bogdanovic with the switch. Getting some looks, Adelaide, but they just haven't been able to connect.
It's Bogdanovic. Long rebounds back out to on Foxwell.
But Drew, Jarrell Martin's, he had on Foxwell on him. He had him pinned.
Yeah. Here's Ben Air. Everyone getting a look. No one knocking them down.
Both teams 5 of 17, so that's a nervous start.
Detch took it into the paint. Malik Lewis sent him packing. Bogdanovic tries his luck again.
Pushing it back.
It'll be a foul on the next start for a push.
Who had a good game against the Perth Wildcats. Probably his best game in the last 6-7 weeks. And hopefully, if you're a Phoenix fan, he can carry that over. And this is what they have been one of the features since Josh King has come. The extended full court defense. Want to make play in the back court. They really do try to get up and in and cause some problems. Take away some of the shot clock.
Bullet pass from Kendrick Davis. And a little push from Jarrell Martin is good.
That's a good kick. When Jason Gadee comes onto the floor, gives Kendrick a chance to play off the ball. Little two-man game, kind of actually just in. Good job finding Jarrell Martin for an easy one. You got to send a double right. Too late. Too late.
Good smart move by Lewis, though. He didn't settle for the 3-ball. And there was no help. Another turnover by Phoenix. Both teams with some shots you normally expect they're going to make. And just poor shooting percentages to start this one.
Ben Air with his hands full right here. Davis attracts the double. He's hemmed in at halfway. Vasiljevic, great pass inside for Jarrell Martin. They forgot about the big man. And Adelaide take the lead off their last look at the quarter.
And what I like about that is DJ, he's renowned for wanting to get himself going. He is yet to take a field goal attempt. And on that one there was within his rights. The 3-ball, he had the rebounder there, but was still alert enough to even to turn it down and find Jarrell Martin for an easy one.
Glad he did, because you can't have Jarrell Martin by himself and not get that one. You'd even dump that one off, Drewy.
No, that's right. But, you know, if you're a shooter and you haven't let one fly, you see you big around the rim.
2 seconds to work with. Glover leaves it off the side, and it's the Adelaide 36ers in sudden death who lead by 1 at quarter time, 16-15. It's all on the line this afternoon here in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
Look, that's the only thing I would say. Don't grab him, you can just wipe it with ice. Yeah. You ain't gotta pick up that other one. Let's see.
Great insight. Montrez Harrell mic'd up there for our Harvey Norman in the zone. Welcome back to the Hungry Jacks NBL. A low-scoring first term in this sudden death play in Adelaide leads 16-15. And great news for Adelaide fans. Montrez Harrell back out there from that ankle injury.
Great work by you, Kels. Great to see Montrez Harrell back out there too. The big story for both teams, Andrew Gaze and Damon Lowry, in this first quarter is the way that they're shooting the basketball.
Yeah, terrible. 5 of 21 from the field for the Phoenix, and that includes a 1 of 10. And that hurt. He will not find a more open three than he just took in that last possession. It's 7 of 20 for the Adelaide 36ers and 0 of 6. So they're 1 of 16 combined from the three-point line. So a nervous start by these two teams.
Big rebound by Harrell and puts it back in. He looks pretty ginger on that leg, but that'll count.
Yeah, he's going to get through it. He's going to push through it. Both teams, like you say, Drew, they shooting. There's always, as Foxwell misses another one, there's regular season shooting percentages, Drew, and then there's postseason.
I like it.
And right now, everything that they did in the regular season don't really count. But right now, some nervous starters. Kendrick, he can make layups. You better believe that.
No, they have, and I keep repeating, but they are getting to the cup and in 2 feet in the paint for some good looks. The Adelaide 36ers.
Two high-scoring, free-flowing teams. South East Melbourne have scored 90 or more in their last 15 games. Adelaide have scored 90 or more in 10 of their last 11. And the 36ers have started with a flush in this second term.
Good job by Kendrick Davis. Went down there and attacked the dribble. As a little guard, you don't want to double the big before he puts the ball on the floor because we're already short. But Kendrick, once he started dribbling, he was going to be in trouble. Forced the turnover.
Well, the data says on the season, the Adelaide 36ers, one of the areas of their vulnerability is being on the defensive end, but they've had some good possessions here in this one this afternoon. They look engaged.
Harrell forcing down on Matt Hurt. He's so big and so strong in that situation.
I don't think you can play him straight up. That time there, you had 4 bodies just nailed to the floor, and that's the Adelaide 36ers bodies, and there was no double team. He's a lot quicker than you think, and clearly he's got the power to finish around the basket. I really don't think you just can play him in that one-on-one situation, make him a passer and rotate out of it.
Matt Hurt relaxed. Trez knows the angles. He knows how to get you kind of off balance a little bit. But once he gets closer to that basket, like you say, Drew, but he is a great playmaker too.
Yeah.
So you have to pick your poison.
All NBL second team for Montrez Harrell. And a deep breath. And burgers for the home fans. Play-in burgers, the code word is mismatch. They might taste just that little bit better on the way home today.
And when you get there, tell them Trez sent you.
Nice pass cross court. Foxwell with the extra one for Sobey. 0 of 5, scoreless in the game so far. 17 across the season. Kadee steps back, was paid no respect, and he makes them pay.
Jordy Hunter once again caught sagging too low on that ball screen. And Jason made him pay the price.
My word, he did, and he summed up the situation perfectly. As the switch, relatively simple step back, and Jordy Hunter, he's going to be more connected and rely on some help if Kadee gets to the rim.
7-0 start to this second quarter for Adelaide, and Kelsey Brown caught up with Sunday's Edge pre-game.
Many threats across your team. I could name them all, but I feel like every single person brings something. What in your mind is stopping Adelaide 36ers from going all the way?
Ourselves. You know, I think at our best, we're the best team in the league, we feel. And when we're not playing great basketball, you know, we don't win games. So when we are at our best, we're firing, and that's what we've done recently. So we're in good form coming in, and that's what we want to continue to do this finals campaign.
They are the sort of team that have been must-watch all season long, for the good, for the bad, for everything. But I think you both said this pre-game, the last thing that you would want to let this Adelaide 36ers team do is get fire in a game like this.
Oh, not just this one, for the remainder of the season. The Illawarra Hawks should be sweating like a turkey on Christmas Day, given what Adelaide have done to them throughout the season.
Shout out to the vegetarians who are watching us today.
They cannot hit a shot. Phoenix are shooting 20% from the field, 8% from deep. Speaking of from deep, Jarrell Martin says take 3 of these.
But Damon, it's not smart either. They're 1 of 12 from the three-point line. Half their shots have come from there, and there's another one just thrown up, and it's nothing but beautiful Melbourne air. And he's a guy coming off an 0 of 10 performance. That's right, 0 made buckets, 10 misses for Wieskamp, and that looked like a guy that saw someone come and sub it in for him and just thought, I'm going to chuck one up. That's not the type of behaviour you want to have in a sudden death playoff game.
They've lost their way here, South East Melbourne, in this second quarter.
The quote my mate Adam Capehorn, they can't hit the side of a barn with a frozen chicken.
Kadee, on the other hand, with his second 3, silences John Cain Arena.
The underwear gnome, Jason Kadee. Is Operation Keep Jason's career going.
Foxwell with South East Melbourne's first points of the quarter. It's a 13-2 term so far.
Great job by Foxwell. Let's try to get a layup. But then poor defense in transition, not getting back in set, Drewy.
Look at the Amy replay here. Jason Kadee, he's already made one. Going to his left. Not a bad closeout by Matt Hurt, but when he sees a couple go through, Jason Kadee is one of those players that he becomes very, very dangerous. And down the other end, just the cagey experience he had against Lewis. He just comes in and throws his body into the defender and works his way to the free throw line.
Adelaide increased the lead to 13. Don't forget, you can predict the perfect NBL25 bracket. Just jump online, pick the winner. You can be the one who comes away with the prize at the end of the day. Good luck predicting this bracket, by the way.
God, good luck to you. 14-point lead on the road. Does Adelaide feel like, Drew, they playing with a little bit of the house's money?
Aren't it? Of course they do, because they are.
1 of 14 from outside South East Melbourne.
But you got to go to plan B. Just pound it inside, try and get to the rim a little more, rather than just continuing to blaze away and hope. Get the scoreboard ticking over other ways, get to the free throw line, try something else. But it seems like they're just
Drew, they plan B and plan A are the same plan.
Well, at this stage, they do have plan Bs. You know, I think that Hurt can be very good. You know, in these types of moments, I know Nathan Sobey's hasn't shot the ball all that well, but he has the ability to get downhill better than most. And you go with Ben Air comes in to see a little bit more time. Kenyon coming back in to guard Davis.
Shot clock at 3 for Montrezl Harrell. Pulls up on Hurt. Everything working for Adelaide right now.
Too easy. It's too easy. Matt Hurt don't want to get too close to Trez. He sags off. Trez got a mid-range J.
16 points is Adelaide's lead in sudden death. South East Melbourne are nowhere right now. Kadee's been called for the block, and he might consider himself a little unlucky.
Well, Kadee, the strategy here for Martin is let him shoot. He was in the paint waiting for him, and to me, that...
Guys, it's close. It's close.
It certainly was.
Contact, you've got to have a call.
Moving.
Just a little to his right.
Yeah, slightly moving.
But you can see how far off he was just inviting the shot. And now they can't make free throws.
Listen here, what are they going to do about the Matt Hurt and Montrezl Harrell matchup on the other end? Because right now, Matt Hurt is offering no resistance to Trez. I know where I would be going with the ball right now.
33-17 here at John Cain Arena. Adelaide 36ers firmly in control. Davis can't score. Montrezl Harrell comes flying in.
Wow. I didn't even lost responsibility on the box out. I think right now with what you're seeing, there needs to be a change of behaviour and how you're going to guard Montrezl. And I'm not sure Hurt's the right one to have.
Travel. Ben Air travels. Kelsey Brown, you're listening to Josh King.
Well, Josh King last time out said he'll ring the changes in if the fresh legs don't get going. You can see it here. Ben Air comes in for some minutes, but for me, it's the second chance points. They're second in the league for that. They're second in the league for points in the paint. They've gone completely away from that to Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. And Josh King wants to get Matt Hurt more and more involved in the offensive end.
17 points to 2 this quarter, Damon.
It's a beatdown, and DJ Vasiljevic has not attempted a shot. Here's your problem right here. There's your problem.
How easy was that?
Again, they are picking on Matt Hurt. A lot of this is not by accident. This is by design. And here's a handful straight away. Geordie Hunter gets up to check in.
Drury, if Matt Hurt is your best scorer, and yet he can't score, he can't be on the floor right now because he ain't defended at all. Well, here comes this hook right here.
I think Josh King has agreed with you. And this, to me, is an example where your offense starts to hurt your defense. Matt Hurt is acutely aware of what he means to the team on the offensive end. Hasn't been able to get it going. He's 3 of 7 from the field. Not terrible, but it's under these pressure situations, he's letting it affect his defense as Ben Air stops a little of the bleeding.
One could argue his defense has always been like that this season, but the offense is taking a lot of the focus off of him.
Just Southeast Melbourne's 5th point of the quarter. Kadee can't score. Martin. The GPS got all out of control there. But attack the glass uncontested. Swift hands from Davis. He's playing some sort of game so far. Martin in transition.
Wow.
Phoenix dodge a bullet. Now they push the tempo. Ben Air never needs an invite. Back-to-back threes.
He's giving him a spark pure and simply because he's knocked down a couple of shots. Big shots by Ben Air. 2 of 3 from the three-point line. And they've come at the most important time for the Phoenix.
Yeah, Ben Air is not going to lack any belief whatsoever. Big shots and good timeout by Mike Wells.
Just as Southeast Melbourne was starting to build a little bit of momentum, Mike Wells calls a tangerine timeout. The loser of this game will be watching on for the remainder of the NBL25 season. The winner will take on the Illawarra Hawks in a 3-game semi-final series.
Yep, and the Hawkies with the home court advantage. That's what you get when you finish on top of the ladder.
And there's the final series matrix there, and it's going to be a cracking series between Melbourne United and the Perth Wildcats. And it remains to be seen who takes on the Illawarra Hawks. But as I mentioned, the Adelaide 36ers have done a really good job against the Illawarra Hawks, so they would probably be more keen to see Phoenix get the win, although they would never say it.
No, but although the Phoenix have had some success too against the Hawks, at this stage in the piece, nobody's scared of anybody, but I'm looking at these field goal percentages, Drewy. Adelaide shooting 46% from the field with a 14-point lead. If you're Mike Wells, you want to go into the half at least, at minimum, up double figures.
Well, this, if you go back to their game just a couple of weeks ago, the score at halftime was 43-61. And in the second half, it was the Adelaide 36ers that completely turned it around. So it's a concern if you're a Phoenix fan with what you're seeing, but this is a long way away from being comfortable for the Adelaide 36ers.
In that game, Adelaide had 34 points in the third quarter to claw their way back in. Martin swings to Latmayan. Shot clock's about to beat Adelaide. Bucket won't count.
So Now I'm on the ball. Yeah. I've got offensive foul. The question is, do we have the light for you on the pitch?
I've definitely got a 24-second.
24-second shot clock violation. Too many passed up shots in that situation.
Adelaide led by as much as 20. Here's Wieskamp. He's cold on Tuesday night. And a 0 of 3 in this one.
And that one didn't even look like it. It was well off right out to left hand. It was going way right.
0 of 10 against the Wildcats. And it's Ben Eyre who's been the spark. Trying to make something happen offensively. That is as flat as flat.
What happened was Jordy Hunter, they switched, and Jordy had Jason Kadee on him, and they didn't recognize it. I'm trying to work out, Jordy, where's the points going to come from. Nathan Sober's going to have to get himself involved. And obviously, Joe Wieskamp is 0 for the postseason right now as a shooter. Are you thinking, Jordy, the next one's going in? What are you thinking?
There's no doubt that he'll be playing on his mind when you're coming off an 0 for 10, included 0 for 7 from the 3, and you've missed your first 3. It starts to mess with you. That's where you've got to try and find a cheaper basket. I don't know these can come by, but oh yeah, there's another air ball. We've seen more air balls in this game here than you would see in about 5. Oh, hello.
Oh, Nathan Sobey slipped at halfway. Vasiljevic pulls up.
Oh,
it goes.
That's his first field goal attempt of the contest.
Sobey just stumbled of all the ways for DJ to get his first bucket.
It was...
What was that, Drew?
Like I said, it was just...
Is there a poltergeist in here? Like what? Somebody pushed Sobey.
Looking around for the jackal or something.
The sniper.
That's it.
Up on the grassy knoll somewhere.
Because it was completely... You couldn't explain why. Just lost his balance.
So Wieskamp, his first points of the play-in series, or first point, I should say.
And this is a way to help the cause. We often speak about it is when you're struggling from the field, you get to the free throw line to see a couple go through, and only makes 1 of 2.
Phoenix fans thought that Montrezl Harrell stepped out of bounds. Oh, official was right there. Davis made a hot start to the game. He shares with Dejan Vasiljevic. That doesn't go. Jordy Hunter with an outlet pass, and Sobey casually went at it one-handed and fumbles out of play.
Yeah, Jordy Hunter's back there doing his best. Some quarterback that plays for some team that won a Super Bowl, I won't mention. But, Drew, all the offenses are going to end up in the 3. So, good pick and roll. Kendrick did a good job of finding DJ. It's going to be a 3 9 times out of 10. I want to see them go right back to Trez in the one-on-one ISO against Hurt.
Davis with a crossover, then the step back. Glover just did enough defensively, and then willed himself to the ball. Drives.
Brilliantly done by Detch.
Here come Adelaide back the other way. Humphries with an interesting decision. Throws it out of play.
This has been a genuine surprise in the way both these teams are going about it. We're seeing some errors. The only explanation I can think of is that just the nerves or the lack of confidence. Isaac Humphries just...
There's no way you stay on the floor doing that. No way, Drewy. Mike Wells said, come here, man. Have a quick seat. We'll get you back out there in the second half.
Glover dumps it in underneath for Hunter. And Matt Hurt, desperate for an opportunity. He's got 8 points. He's had a tough afternoon so far.
Drewy, they let Matt Hurt off the hook if they don't go to Trez in the ISO. Now Jordy's on Trez.
14-point lead to the visitors. Hunter whistle for his second.
With 53 seconds to go, is Josh going to trust Jordy to not pick up his 3rd foul? He's thinking about it, and he's made his decision. No.
Well, this is, you know, I want to give a lot of credit to the Adelaide 36ers. To hold a team that's averaging 96 points a game, thereabouts, only 26 points, and we've under a minute to play.
Regular season, Drew,
in the first half.
And they're 7th out of 10 in the competition, Adelaide, for defensive rating. So this end of the floor has not been their calling card this season, but today,
yeah,
it's fantastic from Adelaide.
The lack of ability to hit a perimeter shot, and just how clunky it's been on the offensive end for Phoenix.
Jarrell Martin back out there. Geordie Hunter subbed out. Mike Wells reacted and went bigger again. Kenyon guarding Davis with the shot clock winding down. No foul. Ben Air on the move. That little floater wouldn't have hit a 6-foot ring.
It was 100% a foul, but if the ref don't call it, I don't know what to tell you. Just got to keep playing. I'm just stupefied how Trez ain't getting touches during these last few minutes. I'm just can't believe.
Now he's got Ben Air on him. They recognise it and get it to him.
Late clock for Adelaide. Harrell forces his way inside.
There's not a human in John Cain Arena, as we speak, that can guard Montrezl Harrell. To go away from him for that long, when clearly the Phoenix are in foul trouble, Matt Hurts is out there, he can't guard him, Jordy can't guard him. They just gotta milk that. Just let that develop, and Trezor, they'll blow this lead way out.
That's it. If we miss one, we miss one, okay?
Come on, man.
Yeah, that last one on Davis, I think he's got a fair reason to have a chat to the officials. Looked like a lot of contact.
Montrezl Harrell said, just stay locked in. They're in a winning position right now. And we're about to jump in to the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix timeout. Josh King searching for answers.
Maddie, get the ball in, get it to Sobes. Go press, watch for the press break here. They got fouls to give. Gotta be strong with the ball. Matt, just come set a flat ball screen. Let's get Joe, Benny, Love. Let's get Sobes downhill. Actually, hey, look. Let's get you on this side, Joe. Let's try to get in here. Hey, set it, roll. Get the follow behind. Be strong with the ball, though. They got fouls to give. Gotta go quick, 11 seconds.
They won their last 2, Southeast Melbourne against Adelaide, and they've won their last 5 here at John Cain Arena. But their season is swinging in the breeze right now.
Well, it is, but you know they can't keep going on like this. 26 points in the first half. It's highly uncharacteristic of them. And they are definitely going to be better in the second half because it's going to be hard to beat any worse, only shooting it at 27%, 3 of 17 from the three-point line. And they've only taken 33 field goal attempts, 17 of them coming from the three-point line when you're only making 3 of them as Montrez walks up. But it's they have to have a good, hard conversations at the halftime break, you suspect.
Can we move some furniture, Drew, in there?
I think it might require that.
Last possession of the first half for Southeast Melbourne. Air. No good. Kendrick Davis looks up from halfway.
Stop it.
Got it! Kendrick Davis fires a bomb from the halfway. What a half of basketball for the Adelaide 36ers. With their season on the line right now, they literally cannot miss.
He didn't get a car for that, nothing. He's just gonna go into the half with a 19-point lead. I thought that shot went up a little early, Drewy, and as soon as it left his hands, it looked good.
Absolutely smooth from Adelaide. Let's get to Kelsey with Jason Kadee.
Here with Jason Kadee, massive first half for you guys. 45 points on the offensive end, some massive plays made. What have you liked offensively in that first half?
Just our defense. We've kept them to quick early shots and we've rebounded for the better part of it. If we can repeat that in the second half, we'll win the game.
Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, they're a good second half team. What are you expecting from them in this second half? What do you think they need to rectify?
They're going to go on a run. They're a great team and they've been a great team for the second half of the season. So for us, it's about just taking our time. We're taking the right shots, which is helping our D. So if we can keep doing that stuff, I think it'll go a long way to win the game.
Great first half from you and the team. All the best for the second.
Thanks, Kelsey.
Well, the energy zapped from Southeast Melbourne Phoenix and John Cain Arena after a dominant display from Adelaide in the second. The visitors lead 45-26. You're watching the Hungry Jacks NBL. Don't go anywhere. Halftime show after this.
Points, 4 boards for Jesse Wagstaff and an excellent catch. Up to 39. Kings have had enough.
Take your game from the local court to the big time. Step onto an NBL court after the final buzzer. Backing local ballers is just the beginning.
Hey, good pass down there. Good pass. Where'd you get at, little boy? Where'd you get at? Why it? All the way. Yeah. Later on. Right now, we're just gonna run the record for me later on. I got you. Yeah.
Never short of words, Montrezl Harrell, thanks to Harvey Norman, mic'd up in the zone. Now Josh King addressing his troops, Damon Lowry, Andrew Gaze. They trail by 19 at the moment. Are we saying great defense? They got 26 points on the board. Are we saying great defense Adelaide, or are we saying poor offense Southeast Melbourne?
I think it's both. I think it's been some solid defense by the Adelaide 36ers as Jason Cadee forced them into some tough shots. But the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, they've played 183 games since coming into the NBL as the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. This is their lowest halftime score in the history of the club. And that is, yes, it is good defense, but some of it has just been some self-inflicted wounds. They came out, the anxiety looked really high. In fact, both teams were like that. But the Adelaide 36ers were the first to settle. They got their offense going. And Matt Hurd, his numbers aren't terrible, but Montrez in that second quarter, again, was a huge spark for the Sixers.
Well, one of the storylines going into this game is how long can Jason Cadee, this is going to be his final year in the NBL after a storied career, how long can he push it out? In this first up, he's doing all he can to make it a couple more.
It's Operation Extend Jason Cadee's career. He wants to go and sit in some cushy office and sell jocks postseason. It ain't time for that right now, Jason, because you balling right now. Off the bench, he got 10 points. He provides a maturity to this group, some stability to this group. Jason's playing great basketball. Mike Wells has so much trust in Jason. Look at this Blackmore shark. My God. One miss for the entire game. What a half by Jason Cadee and his boys.
Yeah, absolutely. Jason's been fantastic. And perhaps having that burden lifted off your shoulders, announcing that you're no longer playing, you're coming in here, not a lot of expectations. He's been incredibly efficient in the latter stages of this season. He's continued that into the playoffs, particularly here today. And that leadership, that calmness out on the floor has been much needed for the 36ers.
The most impressive thing for the Adelaide 36ers, while Montrez Harrell is as always leading from the front, they're doing it by committee. It's not just Kendrick and Montrez or just DJ Montrez. It's not just two guys. They're doing it by committee at the moment. Montrez still having himself a good game after a scare early with that ankle.
The worst thing that happened to the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix was Trez came out of the locker room. Nobody's wishing any bad on anybody, but as soon as Trez came back out there on the floor, he's going to work. They do not have a matchup for him. Matt Hurt can't guard him, Jordy Hunter can't guard him, Malik Lewis can't guard him. Trez is doing whatever he wants to do out there on the floor, and he's even being a common influence. Telling this boy, Kendrick Davis, calm down, man. I know you didn't get the call. Stay locked in. We've got this. So Trez is leading from the front.
Well, the winner of this game is going to be playing the Illawarra Hawks of Melbourne and Perth. That is all locked in. Now the fever break, God hate it, but we got to wait a while till we see them. But United against the Wildcats, it's not pretty if you're a Perth fan, Gozy.
No, it's not. And the Melbourne United, their record in Perth is extraordinary. They won 8 out of the last 9 or something like that. It's just been a tough place for other teams to win, but the Melbourne feel real comfortable going to Perth. But when the playoff lights are shining, I think it adds a little extra element to it, and the Perth Wildcats playing some fine basketball. That is going to be a great series.
Certainly will. Plenty more to go here. 19 points down Southeast Melbourne. Can they keep their season alive?
And that man, he's been a walking bucket all year.
Send the double. Send the double. Now listen to me, Joey.
He's hurt again with the fadeaway. Oh, my goodness me.
Wow. As there's the trademark.
Hand in the face, no worry.
Found a way to distribute to Hurd, who closes the lid.
And no Hurd had to jump in him like that.
And one for Matt Hurd. That's a 30-piece.
Hurt again. Oh, dear me. Hurt puts it on the floor. Under pressure. Scores the 2.
Hurd spins away from Bolden. Really tough.
Hurt just stands and delivers.
Saw an open lane, and that's easy pickings for him out of his talents.
We've seen his talents all season long. Matt Hurd, third in the MVP voting, all-NBL first-team member, averaging 20 points across the season. But Damon Lowry and Andrew Gaze, South East Melbourne desperately need that Matt Hurd in the second half.
That's why there's 2 seasons, Jack. There's regular season and postseason. Regular season Matt Hurd is yet to show up in his full capabilities. It's in him. But they got to see it right now. They got to get off to a great start to start this third quarter, or it could be over early.
Yeah, and I think they've got to look at their tempo. And when you're down, your tendency is to play really quick. But I think they've got to try and get into more of a half-court game. And Geordie Hunter has gone down. He's laying on the floor down the other end. They're playing 5-on-4.
Big rebound by Montrezl Harrell with no Hunter out there. He's dominant. 10 points, 9 rebounds for the afternoon. He's unstoppable.
He's the grownest man on the floor right now. And Jordy gets a tip in to go. Cannot be trading baskets. I know it's only 2-2 to start the third quarter. It'd be interesting to see how they attack this now, Joey, with a 19-point lead. You do what got you the lead, right?
Davis slicing his way through. Great look for Vasiljevic. He misses. Humphries crashes the glass. He steps out of play and he travels. Take your pick.
Yeah, big travel. Great job crashing offensive glass. Kendrick splitting the ball screen. You got to be careful, man. Kendrick is so skilled. You trapping that ball screen 35 feet away from the basket, he is going to split you into bad health. He ended up getting DJ a wide open shot. He just didn't knock it down.
Let's go back to 26 points for South East Melbourne. It's the lowest first half by any team this season.
Well, it's the lowest in their history.
That's right.
183 games. And... oh, dear.
That is not going to help their cause.
Some of these are 2 of the most incredible plays. They're just unexplainable. Just losing. Oh, that looked like a travel.
Foxwell was quiet on Tuesday. Been quiet in this game as well. Wieskamp, premium look, had to knock it down and does.
Come on, Weezy. The next one's always going in for all you shooters out there. There's 0 for everything. He didn't lose faith in himself, let it go.
Kendrick Davis has got 11 points, but has been playing second fiddle to Montrezl Harrell. The big man for 3, sizes it up, doesn't go.
That's where they'd much rather see Montrez let him go from the three-point line. He can make them, but that's the preferred option. And again, that's the type of play I'm not sure that's in their best interest. With Owen Foxwell coming down and sort of those half under pressure, tough ones at the rim. And Sobey with head throwback.
Sobey's got to get himself going, even if he's got to manufacture something.
That's his resting, you-know-what face.
Yeah, because right now, 16, it's not that big of a lead, I feel, Joey. 8 buckets, it's early days still.
No, that's right, but it's always a little bit more daunting when you've only had 26 in the first half. That 16 starts to feel a whole lot further, but like we said in their last game, Adelaide were 26 down and hit the lead and got 5 up. Now, they weren't able to hang on and win that contest, but it just shows how the game can turn.
17-point lead in a sudden death playing game. It is a beautiful position that the 36ers find themselves in, but As Drewy said, still a long way to go in this game. Sobey needs to get going, as does Matt Hurt. Crashing the glass will help his cause.
I have no idea how he made that. He squeezed himself through a couple of defenders. Got it to go.
Double figures now for Matt Hurt. First Southeast Melbourne player there. Sobey and Vasiljevic continue this little battle that's going on.
And I give DJ a lot of credit. He's only 1 of 4, but he hasn't really gone out there and tried to take matters into his own hands, being prepared to play his role. And I'm sure by the end of this one, there's going to be a moment where they're going to need him. Right now, he's happy to just be a facilitator.
Great pass. Davis inside for Humphries.
Yeah. We are looking at some point guard, exquisite play right here. You can't trap him, he'll split it. You don't show properly, he gets around you. He's finding everybody. Kendrick is putting on a clinic.
4 of 21 now from the three-point line. Oh, dear.
Oh, stop it. Stop it, Kendrick. You out there clowning.
That is special. He made that look a whole lot easier than it actually is.
Their biggest 2 problems on the floor right now are Montrezl Harrell and Kendrick Davis. The Southeast Melbourne have not got anyone that can go with either of them. Davis on the move. That time was blocked by Hurt, but there's Harrell to try and clean it up. Wieskamp's got Sobey up ahead. Points will count. His first score of the game.
Well, they just got to be cautious that just the random, well, it's my turn, I'm just going to attack the rim, the randomness, accidental basketball, as Kobe Bryant, Phil Jackson used to call it. I'm not sure in this circumstances that's in their best interest. Yeah, you might get hot, but you're really in the lap of the gods here, rather than systematically trying to find a formula.
Yeah, you got to get methodical with it at some point.
Well, balance.
Balance, yeah.
There's a balance in there somewhere, but right now it's just all random. Well, I'm going to assume responsibility, which is a wonderful quality to have, but if it's not done with the collective, the likelihood of it being successful, I think, is far less than a more methodical approach.
I like this sub by Mike Wells. He brings Jason Kadee in. Kendrick, even though he's probably tired, he ain't tired for normal people, but he still wants to get him some rest. So he brings Jason Kadee to play the point, and now bring Kendrick, let him play off the ball, and he's going to get into some 2-man stuff.
He's plus 15, Jason Kadee, in the afternoon to go with his 10 points and 2 assists. He's had such a positive impact on this Adelaide team as the farewell tour continues. That block will be on Angus Glover. In amongst, we've spoken about this with Jason Kadee, Damon, in the chaos that is this Adelaide team, from day to day, hour by hour, minute by minute, Jason Kadee's the calm in this team.
Perfect. The calming influence in the storm, 100%. You got to send a double. I'm telling you. He's too cagey, Drewy. He just...
Yeah, it is.
Like,
normally you're waiting to send that double on the second bounce or wait till he gets a foot inside the paint, but particularly if Wieskamp is on him. Now, I don't think that was by design. If he's on them, you just run at him and try and get the ball out of his hands. And sure, you're going to be vulnerable on the perimeter, but just rely on your rotations.
Trez is single-handedly bringing back the mid-range, and very few players in the league, very few even teams, coaches, that even value the mid-range. And this is where Trez does his best work.
Well, not here from the free throw line. He's in a bit of a funk in this one. He's 3 of 7, so he's left a few out there. We might get into a hacker Trez situation.
They've been pretty clinical, Adelaide, but free throw shooting hasn't been great. Big block from Humphries. Kenyon on a rescue mission. Now Matt Hurt off balance. Gets that one to roll.
Way to keep it alive. Matt Hurt ain't gonna stop coming at you. And it's only 14 points. Make that 12.
Turnover and bucket for the Phoenix. As they extend their D, it's back to 12. Adelaide, for the first time are under some severe pressure, but they can always turn back to Kendrick Davis.
Man can do whatever he wants to do out there, Drewy.
I'm not sure Kenyon Martin's the right man for this job.
Neither is Matt Kenyon.
At this particular stage.
Nice pass, Glover for Humphries. Good D. Worried Kenyon out of it. Wieskamp swings to Hurt baseline. And those points will count. Kelsey Brown, it's intense out here right now.
It is very intense, but I want to go back to the Jason Kadee chat. I spoke to Sunday Detch before the game, and he said he really is the glue. He's the one that everyone goes to. He's the one that everyone calls. He's the guy that holds his team together, and they want nothing more than to bring this home for Adelaide, but also to bring this home for Jason Kadee and the fairy tale ending he deserves.
Game number 424 today for Jason Kadee as we see the Amy replay. Here he is bringing the ball up the floor.
This pressure that Phoenix apply is having an effect.
You can't overcommit though on Kendrick Davis. He is just playing with it.
We haven't seen anybody like this in a long time. We got to go back to some Jerome Randall type action. You feel like you want to pressure him, but that's the last thing you want to do, Drewy. He's quicker than you. The ball is 2 inches off the ground. He can get anywhere he wants to go on the floor. I'm saying you got to be in serious containment mode.
Absolutely, and the problem is he can shoot it so well. He's got a mid-range game that is a little underutilized these days, but this extended physical defensive pressure, it's noted for its adjustment, but it's also noted right now. It's 5 team fouls for the Phoenix, so it makes it a little bit more difficult when you're going to send free throw shooters to the free throw line.
Lead by 13, Adelaide. 20 has been their biggest lead in the game. Matt Hurt off balance. He's trying to will them back into it.
You ain't blocking that. He gets that ball behind his head like that. You just got to hope he misses. He don't miss it very often.
Jarrell Martin crosses over, pulls up with a hand in the face.
He's a two-guard in a big man's body. Jarrell is smooth. A little bit of between the legs, hezzy.
Adelaide continue on their merry way. They're 44% shooting from the field across the afternoon. Kadee with the uncontested rebound.
Joey, what kind of lead you looking at if you're the Phoenix? What kind of deficit you happy to go into the fourth quarter with?
I think if you're single figures, you've done well. That's an offensive foul by Jarrell Martin with the wraparound. Extended that left arm. And I'm sensing just a little shift. It's small, but right now, there has been a noticeable change in the defense of Phoenix. And
I think the big thing, Drew, watching Adelaide in the last 2 or 3 minutes is just the body language and the conversations with each other. Just
more tension.
Starting to change a little bit. Bird pulls the trigger, and that's well short.
Bad shot, Michael. That stage, it was early in the shot clock.
Yeah, that's crazy. 11th rebound, too. Right now, you look at these matchups on the floor. Two-man game, these two right here.
12 double-doubles for the season for Montrezl Harrell. Davis for three! Kendrick Davis, enormous!
To me, that's, you got to blitz that. You got to, they just was a passive switch and put a tough assignment there for Wieskamp, who's not known for his defensive ability. A long one from Angus Glover.
They continue to blaze away here, the Phoenix.
Wow. Kendrick Davis did something that's...
See, look here, this is what I'm talking about.
Watch how he stares him down right now. He's going to look him down, Drewy.
Passive switch, hands down. I mean, that's the worst outcome you could want for if you're a Phoenix fan.
Wieskamp got his arms out like a scarecrow instead of having his hand where the ball is. He's scared of getting beat off the dribble as Malik Lewis gets one to go. Just to keep him in touch, Drewy.
Man, I played limited minutes, only 4 or so minutes in the first half. He's coming off a good performance against the Wildcats.
Good shot by the next star. There's the rebound as well. It's the Phoenix who trail by 13. It's knocked out of play. 2 minutes and 8 seconds left in this third quarter. Here's Malik Lewis. Three ball has improved over the course of the season for the youngster. They need one or two more of those. Back down to Matt Hurt. Set packing by Harrell.
Not having none of it. Not having none of it. There's Jarrell with Owen Foxwell on him. Just throw it up. Just throw it up to him. Just throw it up there.
Didn't need to rush it. Montrez.
Jarrell said just throw it the first time.
Yeah, I think Owen did a decent job of three-quarter fronting it. I think it was right for the high-low. Montrez just overcooked it. Well done by Owen Foxwell down low.
What are you seeing here, Damon?
Just a little bit of offensive confusion. Jarrell's a little bit upset as he should be. He got Owen Foxwell on him. Kendrick couldn't find him. They're not going to overreact too much, though, but they still got a 13-point lead.
Foxwell trying to back in on Jarrell Martin. It's like throwing a tennis ball against a brick wall. It came straight back to him. Hurt fires away. He's got 19.
Good Lord. Yeah, he was 0-3 before that one. And no hesitation with the step back. He's also 9 of 15 from the field. And there's an offensive foul. Things starting to turn now for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. This is a tough one. So he's never in fear that Jason Cadee was going to block the shot. So although Jason does as good as he can in closing that gap, DJ's coming out of the game, and I assume this is a look of amusement on DJ's face, but I think this is more about this last minute, trying to get a better defender out there.
And back within 10, Southeast Melbourne. It's still a big mountain to climb. Glover will be disappointed with that one. Jason Cadee calls for calm, the veteran, in what could be his final game. Davis stripped by Foxwell. Phoenix are on the move up the floor. Layup is good from Ben Air.
Well, mission accomplished so far. For the Phoenix, they were never going to reel it in totally, but they've put themselves into a manageable situation.
Single digits, that's what you wanted.
The game is turning before our very eyes here at John Cain Arena. Foxwell goes down. Davis, no good. Air kept Martin off the glass. And Southeast Melbourne, with the shot clock switched off, have got the last say of the quarter. They trailed by 20 points just before halftime. They have fought and clawed and scrapped their way back into the game, and Foxwell lets that one go. Bonus possession.
Oh my goodness, that could turn out to be one of the most significant plays of the game. Momentum goes into the third quarter with Phoenix on just an inexplicable, ridiculous error by the Adelaide 36ers.
6 points the difference with a quarter to play. What is going to happen next in sudden death?
Confident, and after that finish
way in, and the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix claw back to single digits with one term to play. 54 plays 60 the way of the Sixers, but an obvious unravelling for Adelaide in that third quarter. Damon and Gazy, do Adelaide have the mental fortitude to close this one out?
This is classic, quintessential Adelaide 36ers. This is the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. They can be their own worst enemy. A little bit of self-implosion. Let's see if they can regroup, because they need to.
They roll it straight back into Montrezl Harrell to start the fourth. Davis watches Foxwell blow by. Southeast Melbourne have won 11 of their last 12 fourth quarters in this venue.
They need to win this one by 7.
Here's Ben Air. What a noise. Inside John Cain Arena.
Ben Air, the spark plug, causing all kind of havoc.
And you know, I think you need DJ Vasiljevic out there right now, because scoring, they're having their problems getting stops. And they just got to find a way to score, and he can definitely do that.
They get the ball out of the hands of Kendrick Davis. Big rebound, Kadee. Martin back into the paint, lost the handle. Phoenix can come down the floor and tie it up this possession.
Good Lord. Great wall up by the youngster Malik Lewis. And you caught it right, Drew. DJ checks back in.
Yeah,
they've already blew their rhythm. They are now in a funk. It's going to be hard to get out of it straight away.
They hit half-time, Adelaide, 19 points up at 28-15. Third quarter has got the Phoenix within one single point here in Suttendale. And everything that was working for Adelaide in the first half, Lewis reaching in, is whistled for the foul. And what's not working for them right now?
Well, what is working for the Phoenix has been the problem for the Adelaide 36ers. This ball pressure, the defense that Phoenix has been able to put on the 36ers has helped them offensively. They got 28 points in that third quarter, held the 36ers to only 15. But the turnovers, the second guessing, the ball's not moving as much now for the Adelaide 36ers. They're not getting as much off the on-ball screen. And as such, they've had some problems getting that scoreboard ticking over.
7 turnovers, Drew, for Adelaide in that third quarter. The very thing that can make you good can also make you bad. That terminal play, sometimes the ball doesn't move like you say, and this is what we're looking at right now.
The winner of this will play Illawarra in the semi-final series. And for the loser, their campaign is done. And Ben Air is not done.
The air up there. Ben 10. What a spark. Ben's up to 13 points. 5 of 9 from the field in 15 minutes of action. Attacking the rim, attack the pour. I don't even know what that was at Bedrell Martin. He didn't show on that ball screen. He kind of sagged off. And the guards get taught, attack the hip.
Well, those the types of plays are what the Adelaide 36ers were doing early on. It's like they've gone into the halftime break and switched jerseys, and we're seeing the complete opposite by both teams.
Playing basketball at its very best right here. Two teams playing for everything. Detch gave it up for Vasiljevic, and that is not going to count. DJ not having the same impact that he had on Thursday with his 25 points against Sydney. Foxwell crosses over. And he will step to the free throw line to put Southeast Melbourne in front for the first time since the score was 10-8.
On Foxwell's ball pressure, him and Ben Air on those pick and rolls are taking full advantage on Adelaide's lack of ball screen defense right now. Mike Wells going to come with lap man for Jarrell to try to maybe switch those ball screens, a little bit more mobility.
Believe me, if you're not switching it just to try and keep the guard in front. And going by Jarrell Martin, way too easy. And gee whiz, at half-time, you would have had to be the most optimistic Phoenix fan to think with 7 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the contest, you'd be a point up.
What was the biggest comeback? I mean, records are being made right in front of our eyes.
Unbelievable turnaround in this game.
Got to find a way to get Montrez back into it. I like the move that Josh King has done by putting Lewis on Harold.
Big job for the next star too. And it's working for them. Adelaide running out of offensive options. Latmayan tries his luck for three.
It's only a 2, I think. Put on the line.
They desperately needed that, the 36ers, just to calm things down slightly. They've got a white-hot Southeast Melbourne coming at them right now. Ooh! Scorching hot.
How does it fit? Like a glove. I thought he turned down. Matt Hurt on the mismatch.
Not that time for Mayan. And then Foxwell with a rebound. Kendrick Davis with a foul. John Cain Arena comes alive as the Phoenix lead by 2.
This is the passion that Josh Knight, Josh King brings to the group as we look at the Amy replay. Angus just stared down Trez and said, I'm pulling. Now, I got this. Nothing but cash. And right now, they're feeding off Josh King's energy. Angus is an energizer bunny. Ben Air, Owen Foxwell. These three guys really match his enthusiasm.
And a little surprised at this particular stage. Maybe I think it's more related to giving Owen Foxwell a break. He comes out of the game. Nathan Sobey comes back in. But that combination between Air, Glover, and Foxwell has been a big part of this resurgence by the Phoenix.
Glover found space. Nice pass inside. Herb does the rest. Timeout called by the Adelaide 36ers. Who are melting down.
Wow. That is beautiful basketball. Matt Hurt was so patient. He could have went one-on-one from the elbow. He gets the dribble handoff, ends up with the dunk.
Wow.
Say it again backwards, Jack.
Same thing. It's a palindrome, David. What a turnaround.
Drewy, you called for some moving of furniture at halftime. Don't know if they moved it to the degree that you would have, but they have responded in a major way. The game is on their terms right now, and they're being patient offense, getting easy buckets, Drewy.
It is, and it's one of those things, they didn't have to go back too far. Now, although it was the reverse of this, when they had a 26-point lead and almost blew it, they knew that their capacity for the Adelaide 36ers had been shown in that first half, and they were able to make some adjustments, and particularly on the defensive end.
It's Southeast Melbourne who lead Adelaide 68-64 in play-in basketball. The Pump by Reebok seats Daniel Gorringe in there. He's got the #1 sports podcast in Australia right now. Dan Does Footy. Ollie Gill, his co-host, sitting alongside him. Sam Wood, his partner, Snares in the house as well. There are people everywhere inside John Cain Arena who are witnessing what we are witnessing and what you are witnessing at home. One of the great turns around of the season.
One of the concerning things about that last time out, the body language and the communication between the Adelaide 36ers players was not what you're hoping for. And this is an off-the-ball foul, and it's going to be unsportsmanlike. And I don't think DJ Vasiljevic meant it. He was actually looking the other way, trying to talk to his teammate. Have a look. Poor pass. Yeah, oh, hang on. No, he did grab him.
No, he was mad. He thought he got fouled.
He grabbed him.
That was frustration.
He did not get fouled, by the way. That was just good ball pressure as he tried to make that entry pass.
Yes.
And this has just completely unraveled. As difficult as scoring was for the Phoenix in the first half, it has been the case in the second for the Adelaide 36ers. They only have 19 points so far. Unsportsmanlike has been confirmed. A couple of free throws for Angus Glover. and they get the ball back.
We can in that situation. To look at the play.
But he can't miss that foul because of the situation of the game.
Drew, you said it. The Southeast Melbourne Phoenix was in the bone. When they had 5 fouls and we thought you can't press up and play as aggressive defense, they kept doing it. And they are causing Adelaide all kind of headaches.
Well, what has happened is that at that halftime break, Josh King has gone on and clearly spoke about what they need to do on the defensive end. And it has had a profound impact on the plight for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix.
19 points in the second half for Adelaide. Ben Air leaves that one off the front, but he's been a spark. They had 45 points at the main break, the 36ers. Just 19 since then. Davis on the move, no foul. Has to play through, and 3 Phoenix defenders swarm him as one.
It's hard to get annoyed with Kendrick Davis as his teammates because that's the same exact thing he was doing in the first half. But now it's this different, Drewy. When you don't have the lead, you got to modify it a little bit now. That's great when you got a 12, 15-point lead, but right now the ball got to get through some hands. Everything is too terminal.
Well, that's right, and I think that they get it through some hands, but Kendrick Davis needs to know that he's going to get it back. Right now, he's just trying to do it as on the first possession. Oh, terrible pass.
Kadee in the right place at the right time. Sobey reaching in, got it straight back for Southeast Melbourne. Throws a bullet to Glover. He's had some good looks today, Angus Glover. 2 of 8 from long range.
Well, this game's going, and the trouble with the difficulty in scoring is almost going to be a knockout blow, that 3-point.
Even though that's a wide open shot, Drewy, it's one pass, and you are back on defense.
Sobey takes it straight through Harrell, no foul on the other end either. Nathan Sobey a little sore. Great push from Kadee. Detch can't lay it up. Martin hits the glass. Loose ball available. And it's last touch by the Phoenix.
And then Sobey goes down and takes a tough shot, misses it. That's a no-pass offense. 5 minutes to go in the game. Who can be methodical? Who can be surgical? There's always a time to run, but there's also time you got to pick your spots.
Subs for both teams.
Phoenix fans, get on your feet for Ben Air because he has been one of the sparks that's revitalised the Phoenix.
Foxwell straight back onto the job. We're trying to quell Kendrick Davis. Harrell down low with 3 on the clock. The spin and the finish from Montrez.
That's how you slowly get back into it. Amazing it took him that long to recognize that.
Hasn't had enough touches, Montrez.
They get it back within 4. Another defensive breakdown from the 36ers. And Matt Hurt this time will be on the line shooting free throws.
Matt Hurt is 11 of 17, 23 points, 8 rebounds. I just love his offensive patience. And that is Jarrell Martin's night done.
He came into the season with an injury, Jarrell Martin. There have been glimpses at times across this NBL 25 season, but it's a disappointing day for him today.
They decided to go really small. They don't bring in another big. They bring in Detch now, and they've basically got 4 guards out on the floor. I like it because they've got to find a way to try and deal with the on-ball screen. They've been switching a lot, and the bigs for the Phoenix have been feasting on the on-ball screens. And the problem Adelaide have is those on-ball screens are so low. It gives you no margin for error on a switch and be able to get underneath and try and stop the roll-up. They've got to try and make those on-ball screens a metre or 2 beyond the 3-point line.
72-66. Sudden death, the last game of the play-in series. The loser is done. The winner will play the Illawarra Hawks in the semi-finals. Detch with the rebound, and he puts it back in.
Great offensive rebound by Sunday, because there's going to be some ISO, heavy terminal ISO ball from the 36ers. Either Trez or... Oh, my God. Oh. That's the layup line, Drew.
Yeah, that's taken advantage by Nathan Sobey. The Adelaide 36ers, they looked out on their feet. This relentless pressure is where it wore them down physically.
Glover whistles for that one. Again, we started talking about it midway through the third quarter, the change in the body language, the change in the demeanour from Adelaide. Look at Josh King riding every possession.
Josh is going to need a massage after this game. He's going to be sore everywhere.
That change you're talking about is being driven by the defense. The Phoenix have transformed at halftime.
Montrezl Harrell at the other end of the floor while Kendrick Davis is shooting free throws. Quick drink.
But the beauty of that pick and rolls they're running, Drewy, Phoenix, is they're not doing it in the first 5 seconds. They actually get it through hands. They get it from one side of the floor to the other, then going to a ball screen. Defense actually had to move.
Foxwell for her. He rolls to the cup. Nice D from Harrell, and the rebound as well. And a foul on the Phoenix. Kelsey Brown.
I was standing over here by the Adelaide bench, and it seems to be a bit of a blame game going on. Montrezl Harrell came over and said it's DJ. DJ's the issue in defense. There is so much pointing and blaming happening on this Adelaide bench. It seems like 3 minutes to go, and it is all unraveling.
Well, that was a beautiful desperation by Jason Kadee. He went in there for the defensive board, and that deflection enabled the Adelaide 36ers to come up with it. That's the type of desperation they need to see in this last 3.5 minutes.
They're only 5 points down. A couple of good possessions, and they're back in front.
If Adelaide can somehow get out of their own way a little bit, they're feisty. But if they can just reconsolidate, they're going to have to be on the defensive end for mine. I know they can score.
Nothing easy for the Adelaide 36ers right now. Every play, there's a hand on the ball. Owen Foxwell that time. We saw Sobey strip Kadee a couple of plays earlier.
74-69. As we tick down to 3 minutes remaining in sudden death. Kendrick Davis with 2 on the clock with a hand in the face. He can't score. Malik Lewis with a rebound.
Malik Lewis in his second half has been big. Made life real difficult for Montrez.
Sobey has had a strange old afternoon.
Yeah, just let the play develop. You're right though, Drew. Malik Lewis, these are high-quality reps he's getting right now. Playoff basketball, he's up to 6 rebounds.
Go down low to Montrezl Harrell. Hurt just did enough defensively. And now the Phoenix settle in. 5 points is their advantage right now. From 20 down at the back end of the second quarter. Foxwell can't score. Sobey with the rebound. Points don't count.
That was a foul on the rebound, wasn't it? Called it on the floor. They wave off the 2. Another smart play by Jason Kadee.
Owen Foxwell,
it's going to be
a little bit too much ball handling on that one. He wanted to foul, but this is playoff basketball. You're not getting any ticky-tack fouls. We don't want that. But they're doing a good job of not blazing away. They're going to make Adelaide play D. They don't believe, I should say, they believe Adelaide's defense gets worse the longer they're on D. What would you make of DJ's night so far, Drewy?
It's been a tough one for him. The Phoenix have come in with a great game plan, really kept the ball out of his hands. He's only had 5 field goal attempts, 1 of 5, and just hasn't been involved. Angus Glover can take a lot of credit for that in his second half.
Where is the next bucket going to come from Adelaide? That'll help.
Josh is annoyed with Owen Foxwell. You're doing a good job of pressuring 94 feet. But then Kendrick is cagey. Knows how to draw a foul in those situations. Very little time, ticks off the clock.
And here, I actually, it was a tough situation, but make him go to the free throw line and make him, rather than just allow him to get to the rim. And Foxwell felt that he wasn't going to be able to keep him in front. It's not a bad thing, because he had missed the last free throw that he'd taken. Looked pretty confident in those two, though.
24 points for Kendrick Davis, Adelaide's leading scorer in the afternoon. Now, Mike Wells, I think, might have a look at this. It happened right in front of him.
Well, these are those ones that there's an
and he will have a look at it.
An argument for the moving screen. As the...
All right, let's have a look at it.
I don't know whether that can come into play or not on this one. Look at Lewis there.
That's fine. That's fine by me.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be successful. Ooh. That one looks a little more incriminating, but tough to overrule.
Now, that's fine by me. And we see that almost, we see 100 of those a game. Malik Lewis has already had his back to him. It wasn't like he was facing him and then turn. He's already side on.
But he turns and then moves. That's the only thing. Does he stay in his plane? Does he twist? And
so the coach's challenge is unsuccessful. Scott Butler in the replay centre. Take us through it, Scott.
Guys, so what we're looking for is whether or not there's any action by Lewis that contributes to the play. There is not. You can see Davis use his left arm and push Foxwell prior to the handoff. That's the foul, and that foul will stand.
Good job, Scott. I saw it too. And now it's 2 free throws.
You can't do that. You cannot go like this and turn and wipe my guy out, Vaughn. There's no way. There's absolutely. That's foul,
I don't think Mike Wells agrees with the call.
Well, we sent it up to the referee gods, and they made a decision. It's time to play on. 2:15 to go. Now you got to be disciplined on defense, Drury.
Seven-point lead to the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix in sudden death. Kendrick Davis assesses the situation. Now Harold had the handoff denied. Sunday Detch will have to step back. That's a tough look. The Phoenix take possession again and have 24 seconds to work with.
It's a poor look at this stage of the game.
Sobey for Malik Lewis. And the next start will be shooting free throws.
It's not like there's been a whole lot of sophistication to what Phoenix has done on the offensive end. They're coming down, and that's a pretty simple action. Just penetrate in, draw the help, dish it off.
That's individual brilliance. Matt Hurter's out there calling for the play when both fingers are pointed down. Don't know where they're calling it. But right now, there's nobody out there to guard Matt Hurt neither. And with 1:40 to go, you don't need to shoot quick unless you want Adelaide to get back into this game.
Lewis misses both. The door remains firmly open for the 36ers. Davis trying to make it happen himself. Crosses over on Foxwell and eventually draws a foul.
One thing about Kendrick in his one-on-one, looks like Foxy caught one to the rib cage.
A lot of dribbling going on by Davis.
Coach's challenge, I don't know.
What are they challenging?
Kendrick did initiate the contact. Foxy's running into the tunnel.
That's just a bit of a surprise.
Might just be an extra timeout?
Well, I guess he was thinking of having the timeout anyway.
Yeah.
So we'll take it now and we'll have a throw at the stumps. Have a look here.
I mean, that's a blocking foul. It's been consistent all season.
Yeah, that's not bad defense. He certainly exaggerates the contact.
Unsurprisingly, the Amy coach's challenge is unsuccessful.
That had a very, very remote chance. Almost to a point where I can't understand what
that was
the thought process was.
Yeah, that was basically a timeout, I think. Kendra Davis goes to the line to cut this to a 5-point game with 90 seconds to go in your season.
Look at the bottom of your screen there, the turnaround in this game since halftime.
It's like they changed uniforms, Jack.
Remarkable the tension of playing basketball and what can happen.
Malik Lewis left a few on the free throw line, and now here we are.
Still not over, though. There's still a glimmer of hope here for the Adelaide 36ers, but there needs to be a dramatic turnaround of what they're doing on the defensive end.
78-73, less than 90 seconds left. And it's the Phoenix in possession. Ben Air thought about it, and then he pulled the trigger. And he might have just kept South East Melbourne's season going. Eight-point lead, turnover now. Sobey fouled. The Phoenix go to the other end to shoot free throws. Kelsey Brown courtside.
I've got an update on Owen Foxwell, one of the toughest players in the league, I'd have to say, but he is down on his back at the moment. He's not in a good way. I don't think we'll see him for the rest of the game, and could be concerns for the rest of the semi-finals if Phoenix do make it through.
Well, that's for another discussion, I guess, but right now, Ben Air, you have to take your hat off to him. There were times in this season he was not in the rotation. In fact, so far off it that it was unlikely he was going to have any sort of impact. But to his credit, and he's a type of player that's got incredible self-belief. And he's got that swagger about him regardless of the circumstances. And in this big moment when they needed him the most, he's come on and saved the Phoenix's season.
Saved it.
Along with others, of course. Matt Hurt's 25 can't be ignored. But Ben Air, 17 points on 6 of 11 and 4 of 6 from the three-point line, provided a spark that was much needed.
So a timeout called by Adelaide. One last chance to draw something up, and maybe one last chance to keep the career of Jason Cadee alive. Game number 424 today. He has been one of the best human beings that we've had here in the NBL in the last 15 years.
First team all good human NBL team without a shadow of a doubt. And now that he's probably going into retirement in 62 seconds, he's the captain coach of that team, Jack.
Captain coach. Nice. It's hard to argue against that. Congratulations to Jason Cadee. I had the pleasure of coaching him for a couple of seasons with the Sydney Kings, and really smart guy. And I know he's going out into the corporate world with his underpants business, but let's hope that he's not lost to the sport. I think he's got a good basketball mind and takes a little time out, recharges the batteries, and comes back in another capacity.
Everyone needs undies.
They do.
Well, most people do.
Well, that's right.
If you joined us after half-time and you looked at the scoreline and you saw Adelaide 20 points up, you would be thinking, gee, the Adelaide Illawarra series is going to be interesting. This game has completely flipped on its head. Needless to say, the 36ers must score off this possession. They don't. Rebound, Angus Glover. The fans inside John Cain Arena can sense it. The Phoenix careful with the ball.
Might as well
to finish it off. Air can't knock it down. Hurt with the rebound.
Pack it up. It's a wrap.
Well, when the game got to a point where it became a game, for all the greatness of Kendrick Davis, the Adelaide 36ers just put the ball in his hands and they lost a lot of their structure, they lost a lot of their cohesion, and unfortunately for them, they became very one-dimensional, which is kind of what we were saying about the Phoenix in the first half. But 28 points in this entire second half is all the Adelaide 36ers have scored.
That one-dimensional play, the 36ers, it lurks inside them, Drewy. You never know when it's going to come out. It came out at the wrong time. They didn't know how to play with the lead. And they got to take a lot of blame in this loss, the way they can go about it.
Home fans are on their feet now. Harold Fouts shooting three.
He's got no, they want a challenge. This is one where he wishes he had his challenge back. Lewis is...
Malik, calm down. Malik, don't worry about it.
Completely in shock.
Why are you even contesting that shot, Malik? He's a youngster. He'll learn.
Yeah, this one's in the book regardless. And it'll be interesting to see what happens with Montrez next season as well. He's been one of those characters in our league with his reputation and his history in the NBA. He's come and given himself to the competition, and it's been a fine player.
They're pretty keen to bring him back next season, Adelaide, as they should be. He's had a massive impact, and it's going to finish on a losing note today.
Tough way to lose, too, when you have such a commanding lead. 19 points up at halftime.
Phoenix have still got Derek Walton Jr. that they can plug back into this team for the semi-final series, which they have booked their spot in. The biggest comeback of the NBL 25 season. Southeast Melbourne have made it to the Final Four. Winners this afternoon over the Adelaide 36ers. Incredible comeback when it mattered most.
Full credit to them. That's why there's 2 halves for 4 quarters of basketball. The Phoenix didn't lay down at halftime. They went in there and licked their wounds and came out fighting. Came out and got the result. They did it on the defensive end, all led by Ben Ayer. And like you said, Drew, the rest of them came along for the defensive ride.
Yep. We see a very emotional Jason Kadee because he knows this is the last time he gets to do this. And well done. We pay respect to Jason, and well done to the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix.
They win by 10. Let's get over to Kelsey.
I'm here with Matt Hurd. Matt, first season in the NBL, and you've led your team to a semi-finals berth. How does that feel after that one?
Man, I couldn't be here without my teammates and our coaches. Starting on 5 is never easy, but we've done a great job ever since then, man. And down by 20 at halftime, said to stick with it. I'm proud of the guys.
Biggest turnaround we've seen in NBL this year, down at 9 by 19 at half, and then you've turned it around. How impressed are you to keep them to 75 and turn that game around?
Man, these guys never stop fighting. I'm so proud of them. Down 19, we had no energy, we had no lift. I take responsibility for that, and I'm just glad we got the win, man, because not many teams get to do it like that.
Lastly, I want to ask you, we often see you turning around saying no one can guard you. Do you think that carries on into the semi-finals? What's your mindset going into that one?
Yeah, I'm always confident, and I feel like whoever's in guarding me, it could be a long night with my jump shooting, my playmaking, my finishing ability. So I'm just proud to be here.
We absolutely love what you're doing. Congrats, enjoy the win.
Yeah, thank you.
Extraordinary scenes here at John Cain Arena. Southeast Melbourne Phoenix come from 21 down to win today in sudden death. We're going to come back, wrap it up, and make sense of what has been a remarkable day on the other side of this.
South East Melbourne joined the NBL. They did it with the moniker From the Ashes We Rise, and they lived up to that today. Dead and buried, season over at halftime. Damon Lowry, Andrew Gaze, they rose and they did it in great fashion. They are moving on to the semi-final series.
Yeah, hats off to the South East Melbourne Phoenix. They dug themselves a massive hole. They looked all completely discombobulated in that first half, and they found a way at the half time break to have a chat, consolidate what they were trying to do, and you saw it primarily on the defensive end. They were relentless coming out of that half-time break, and unfortunately for the Adelaide 36ers, they weren't able to withstand that defensive pressure, and somehow or other, they were able to turn around a 19-point lead and hold the 36ers to only 30 points in the second half.
That's the defense that Josh has been preaching since he's been here. They finally bought in when it mattered most in that second half. They hung their hat on it, and then there were four.
Then there were four, and of course it kicks off with Perth taking on Melbourne United. Now this one, of course, Melbourne United have had the wood over them, but Chris Goulding, he just enjoys going over to the RAC Arena, Andrew. You know what it's like to be a superstar in this league. When the finals start going, maybe a bit more than that, these two players, both Chris Goulding and Bryce Cotton, are sure to step up.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun series, and you're right, Melbourne United have had the better of them, but as we've seen already in this series, you can't take anything for granted. Finals and playoff basketball is different to the regular season, and who can rise? So it all starts on Thursday, February 27 at the tip-off there at Melbourne United. So that's when it all begins for them, and of course in the other series, now the Illawarra Hawks taking on the Phoenix.
Damon, you said it at the start of the year. The Illawarra Hawks, you said the Hawks were going to be champions and no one else could contest. From what you saw today, do you fear the Phoenix?
I did not stutter in the preseason. I didn't mix my words when I said this is the year of the Hawk. I still believe that, but they're going to have to get it done because the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, they've showed us they can defend. They've already beat Illawarra Hawks, so this series is going to be a tough one, but I'm still sticking with my tip.
Well, both Melbourne and the Illawarra Hawks have been sitting around for a long time. We've got the fever break coming up, of course. Can they jump out off the break in game one, or is someone going to sneak a road win in this one? No matter what, the proper finals are about to kick off. Damon Lowry, Andrew Gaze, thank you. Kelsey Brown, Jack Heverin, fantastic job as well. What a performance from the South East Melbourne Phoenix. We'll be back with overtime on Tuesday, but a little break and we'll be back into NBL finals action. It's all happening at John Cain Arena tonight, but we go on the road shortly. And Andrew Gaze, Damon Lowry, it quite simply does not get better than this.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.